Hi, and welcome to another Chai with Shay. Today, I'm going to do something different. Um, it's been on my mind for a while, and just this thought came to me this morning, and I was like, why not? Let's give it a try. Um, Actually, I lied. I don't have chai, but I have orange juice because I do need some drink. Um, and there's no milk in the fridge anymore. So what I wanted to do going forward, I think this is something that I have been desiring for a while to connect back with why I was into technology, why I wanted to go and study tech, like what part of me desired that. And I think I've been contemplating on that for a long time this whole year since the start. Now it's been 6 months and new things have revealed itself. Like I went back on LinkedIn and this screen is going to the video is going to break. It's just how it is. I decided to record as it is. Hopefully the voice doesn't break. So yeah. Anyway, so in connecting back with my desire to, understand technology, understand what it can do for us, for the betterment of the society, for the things I want to do in the world, how it can help me, rather than treat it as like, oh, I went in there and just right away treat it as a villain. And I think we have this tendency, especially as women, we tend to be more careful, skeptical of external things for very good reasons. But I feel, there's always there's black and white, and then we need to look in the middle. That's something I've learned in these past 2 years that now I want to bring that mindset over to technology, to the other tools that help us live, that are now available to us. Just because they were not in with us in the past doesn't mean something similar existed, and doesn't mean back then our ancestors had to still kind of adapt and get over the hurdles to really integrate that technology for the betterment of society. And I feel it's not going to happen if we are afraid of what technology can do, what AI can do, and that's where I'm headed. And it has to be like we have to approach it scientifically. We are scientists now. We have people here who can think critically, and we have tools available that can help us understand if what this technology is doing for us, and what we want it to do for us now that we have it available. And oh my God, people over the generations, like since 1980, Geoffrey Hinton came up with this idea of neural networks. So this has been going on since ages. Like people have been trying to work on it. And just because AI became mainstream in the last 2 years because of a meme doesn't mean that people have dedicated years and years of their work into figuring out how to make this happen. So, in a lot of ways, the optimism I see on LinkedIn around AI is valid because it is amazing what it can do today and at the rate at which it has been excelling. But at the same time, the skepticism that we have on the other side, that like every time I go on LinkedIn and I post, not on LinkedIn, on Insta, and I post something about AI because I have a really different crowd over there. It's like, oh no, AI is bad. If you use AI, you're a bad person. Which I understand where they're coming from because I have spent time talking to these people and understanding their fears rather than just dismissing it as, oh, they don't know, world is going to move on and they have to move on with them. It's like, no, you can't say that. Like it is still a technology external to you, and if you don't understand what something is, you don't know what it can do to you. It's like anything unknown, external to us, that we don't know about, that we think as something foreign. You have to get to know something. You have to understand how it works. I didn't, when I started yoga in 2020, 2019, I think a part of that quest was after my grandfather passed away. Um, there was this desire to, like, who am I? What is this life that I'm living? That is, yes, I'm going day by day and I'm trying to do everything that the society has told me to do. And here I am so far away from my family back at home. Um, and someone really important to me, someone who I dearly, dearly love, has just passed away, and I will never see them again. So I had this, I couldn't sit with this duality in my mind. Like, this is the life I'm living, but within me, I want to cry. I want to I want to run to, like, what is happening? It was, I couldn't make sense of it at that time. But I think that seed had been planted, and I went on this search of understanding my body more. That's how I found yoga. And if you have been following that journey of me getting to know myself, and who I am, who my body is, yoga has helped me so much at all points of my life. And since then, and I don't know why I'm getting emotional. um, but the most it helped me do was connect to my body, understand what my body is saying. Not just, like, of course, at one point I went deep into understanding the biomechanics of my body, and that helped too, because now I knew, oh, when I do this is flexion, this is what my hands do, but this is actually what they're meant to do. I don't know if it makes sense, but just knowing something basic about my body help me build trust in the mechanism of this body that I own. And then over time, it didn't happen right away. After, I think, 5 or 6 years, eventually I got to know about my inner body, not just the physical body, but deep, deep inner body, whatever we may want to call it, and what it's trying to tell me, what it's trying to communicate to me. Like, in a way, your intuition. I got to understand what my body is trying to tell me through the language it speaks, that is the movement, and the physical manifestation of this body. Anyway, once I got to know my body, I began to trust it more. And this is something that I've seen in relationships too. The more you get to know someone, the more you have trust in who that person is. You are not just associating your image to something that someone else has told you, but you get to know them through experience, through repetition, through, you've become familiar to them. That's how friendships are made. That's how friendships sustain. That's how relationships are born. It's not just like you meet someone and then suddenly day one you're in love. I have been there, but it doesn't work like that. It takes time to get to know someone over time. And it also means that sometimes accepting their flaws and still choosing to work on that relationship, still choosing to give your love to that relationship, even if there are some things that are not working. I think I just had a realization. Wow. So I feel technology, social media, in a lot of ways is like that. It's a relationship that you have with something external to you. Just because it's not a person doesn't mean the attachment style that you may have with another person in terms of relationship does not show up in terms of relationship with technology, with social media. And some other things, like what I mentioned about being afraid of technology because you do not understand it. It also shows up because, it's something external to you. You lived your entire life without it and you're totally fine. Why would you want to change anything just because this thing is now mainstream? But, that's how the world has always moved forward. And as much as we would want things to be the way they always were, I feel we need to start thinking ahead. We need to start thinking about what's the next thing that we can do in order to not repeat the mistakes of the past. We are not the prisoners of our past, but we are the creators of our own destiny. So from here on, what actions can we take collectively, individually, to live a better life in whatever way? So with technology, I think it's so much the same, with AI especially. And it looks like a black box from outside. So And this is where the problem is, the curse of knowledge, that people in this field have been living this AI for so long that when they start talking, the moment they open their mouth, you're like, I already lost you. Like sometimes I read research papers and I have to go through it. I don't know. I used to have a lot of trouble understanding papers because of just the heavy jargon. And then over time, the more you study about a topic, you start picking up some of the familiar terms, and then you start communicating in those familiar terms. And things are not abstract anymore. So if I say transformers and attention, depending on who I'm talking to. If it is the social media that I usually hang out with, it would be a very different, like, ooh, attention span is decreasing. And then if I say it in my lab, when I used to be in university or at LinkedIn, people would understand, like, we're talking about the code. We are talking about the AI side of it. So, but I feel the link between needs to strengthen somehow. And the academics, or those who, and especially I feel this is where the people who are a bit of generalists, who are, who are interested in 100 different things, who have 10 different hobbies, and every day there's like, the people that I'm talking about. I think those people are the ones who have knowledge of both sides. And they can be this great link to translate the academics, the papers, the research, the work, and make it easy to consume, easy to understand for the general public. Because trust me, there's a huge demand right now. And I don't say demand in the way, there's a huge need right now to educate public about AI, because whether we want it or not, it has become mainstream and it is out there. It's almost like what smartphones were at one point. And yes, you could be without it for a while, but now everyone is using smartphones. So whether you want it or not, in some years, AI is going to really, it has already integrated in our lives. Like whether you, I know right now we think of AI as just ChatGPT and all, but your email service, do you think it doesn't use AI? Every single thing that you're using, any device, already has AI in it. Even the camera systems for computer vision, machine recognition, like it's already in our lives. So this is not something new that just came, just because now we have something that we can communicate to, that can detect patterns, and that can basically help us predict the next sentence. So it can help us, find the knowledge of whatever it has been fed into and give us what it thinks is the most right answer. It's basically giving an output based on the input. I lost my point. So, okay, what I'm trying to say is that people need to be, there needs to be a bridge between that world and this world. Because I feel right now in the industry, there are people who are in the AI world, but they do not really understand what they're kind of disconnected from reality. Let me just say that. And then there are people who are living the reality, who are very much connected with what is going on in the world and with their humanity, and they care about businesses for human beings. They care about ethical businesses. They care about the world, the society, the land, the Mother Earth. And those people need to use technology because it can help them excel in whatever they want to do. But if they're afraid of AI and technology, then it's as long as until they get to know this tool much better, until then they are not going to be able to use it to the best of their ability. Anyway,